Let's take a moment to hear some of the controversial remarks Trump has made over the past day. Listen to this. We can't stand you. You're the worst vice president. Arnold Palmer was upset. He took showers with the other pros, came out and said, "Oh my God." When you look at people like Schiff, yeah, they're the enemy. Nancy Pelosi, enemy from within. Your son leaves for school, comes back a daughter. There's no cognitive issue with me. Maybe with her, but not with me. So millions of Americans are already voting early right now. Do these kinds of comments actually work for Trump? Honestly, I'm shocked that he'd make such crass statements right before an election. Or maybe not. For many of his supporters, this kind of rhetoric is part of the appeal. You often hear people say, he talks like us. That said, one key group Trump needs to win is suburban women. Harris has outperformed Biden with this group, and it's unclear whether these kinds of remarks help or hurt with them. This race is incredibly close, and at this point, it seems like it's all about turnout. The undecided voters left, especially in swing states like Pennsylvania, are probably weighing whether Trump's economic or immigration stances are enough to overlook this kind of language. For Republicans, sticking to key issues like the economy and immigration is the safest strategy. Trump consistently polls well on these topics. His remarks may turn off some voters, but it's unclear if it will be enough to stop them from voting for him. Based on the data so far, the race is close for a reason, despite the things Trump has said. On the flip side, these extreme comments may energize his base, but they also motivate the other side. The Harris campaign has an opportunity here to tie his rhetoric to his policies and record, like refusing to admit he lost the 2020 election and appointing Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe. It's not just his words, his actions matter, especially to independent voters. But is simply saying Trump is bad enough to win over undecided voters? It's hard to say. The message from the Harris team seems to be centered on making this election a referendum on Trump. Their ads and speeches consistently paint him as unhinged. But is that enough to convince people to vote for them? That remains to be seen. Now, I want to play a clip from former President Obama addressing Trump's rhetoric. Listen to this. If your grandpa started acting like this, you'd be worried. You'd call your family and say, "Hey, what's going on with Grandpa? We don't need to see what an unguarded Donald Trump looks like." It's ironic to see Democrats now focusing on Trump's age when they've spent months defending Biden's. But even before Biden dropped out, polls showed concerns about Trump's age, and he's been reluctant to release much information about his health. There's also a strategy at play here. The Harris campaign is trying to fight voter apathy, reminding people that Trump is uniquely dangerous as part of their final push, emphasizing that this election is about much more than typical issues like Social Security or taxes. The stakes are much higher this time. Finally, let's talk about Trump's recent appearance at McDonald's. Some people have criticized it as a stage photo op, but it's standard for any candidate to ensure safety, especially considering Trump has faced 2 assassination attempts. It may have been planned, but it made him seem relatable, and with just 15 days left in this election, that could make a difference.